We are told that history is a story of progress, of light triumphing over darkness. But what if that story is wrong? From the Industrial Revolution to the digital age, we've been sold a singular narrative that more technology, more convenience, and more speed mean we are evolving. But who defines evolution, and at what cost? The truth is, not all motion is forward. A train can speed off a cliff with perfect efficiency. Look around. We have smartphones, but eroding attention. We have global networks, but a crisis of meaning. We produce more than ever, but consume ourselves in the process. This is not the march of civilization. It's a treadmill, dressed in the language of innovation. We call it progress, when cities light up and machines hum, but never ask, progress toward what? We've mistaken complexity for wisdom and convenience for freedom, because no one ever told us that progress is not a direction, it's a decision, and decisions have trade-offs. We dismantled slowness, ritual, and silence in favor of speed, automation, and noise. But when the dust settles, we may find that we've built a civilization that is powerful, but hollow. What they never told you is this: progress has a shadow, and we've been walking straight into it. Progress has a favorite virtue, not wisdom, not beauty, but efficiency. Faster, cheaper, easier, that's the mantra of our age. But this obsession comes at a hidden price: the slow death of everything that makes us human. We automate jobs and call it freedom. We eliminate friction and call it design. We compress conversations into texts, wisdom into tweets, presence into notifications. But in our quest to remove all difficulty, we've also removed depth. A handwritten letter becomes an emoji. A walk through the woods becomes a treadmill in front of a screen. Relationships become transactions. Culture becomes content. Efficiency is not neutral. It reshapes the soul. When we streamline life, we flatten it. We remove the very resistance that gives things value, the struggle that forges meaning. Think of a symphony played at double speed. Every note remains, but the music dies. That's what progress is doing to us. We're optimizing ourselves out of our own humanity. Why read a book when a summary will do? Why reflect when you can react? Why feel when you can scroll? The danger isn't that machines are replacing humans. It's that humans are becoming machines, optimized, distracted, efficient, and empty. No one told us that progress would demand a trade, complexity for convenience, depth for dopamine. We accepted the deal, but maybe it's time we read the fine print.
In our hunger for the future, we are forgetting how to be here. Progress always promises something just ahead. A better life, a smarter device, a newer update. And so, we keep running. But where is now? The present becomes a sacrifice, something we burn in order to reach the next milestone. We've learned to treat stillness as wasted time, reflection as unproductive, boredom as a bug. This is how civilizations lose their soul. Not through catastrophe, but through perpetual anticipation. We build smart cities, but lose the wisdom to dwell in them. We create tools to save time, but never feel we have enough. We record every moment and forget how to live inside one. We are racing toward a future that's always receding. The irony is almost poetic. The more we chase progress, the more we lose the very thing we're trying to improve: life itself. And yet we never stop to ask, who told us that faster is better? That newer is wiser? That more is meaningful? What they never told you is this: the present is not a stepping stone. It's the only place we ever truly live. But we've built an entire civilization designed to escape it. We like to believe that technology is neutral, that it's just a tool shaped by how we use it. But that's a lie we tell ourselves to avoid facing the truth. Tools shape their users. A knife can cook or kill, yes, but carry it long enough and you begin to walk differently, think differently, react differently. The same is true for every innovation we invite into our lives. The internet promised connection, but gave us distraction. Social media promised expression, but bred comparison. Algorithms promised personalization, but built echo chambers. Each tool comes with a hidden architecture, an invisible morality. We don't just use technology, it uses us. It reprograms our habits, our language, even our sense of time. It rewires our attention, curates our desires, fragments our inner life. And yet, we call this progress. We build smarter machines but dumber conversations, more data but less wisdom. This isn't accidental, it's structural. We've handed over the compass of civilization to systems that have no soul, only goals. And the goal is always the same: engagement, growth, scale, but not truth, not meaning, not beauty. What they never told you is that every technology carries a worldview. And if we don't choose that worldview consciously, it will choose us unconsciously. And by the time we notice, it may be too late. So what now? If progress has become a machine without brakes, is there any way to slow it down, to make it human again? Yes. But it begins with remembering what we've forgotten. We must remember that slowness is not failure, it's wisdom. That silence is not emptiness, it's space for the soul. We must stop confusing productivity with purpose. Stop mistaking novelty for meaning. To reclaim our future, we must re-enter the present fully. That means creating rituals, not just routines. Conversations, not just content. Depth, not just data. Progress, without reflection, is just momentum. And momentum, unchecked, leads to collapse. We must ask the harder questions, not just what can we build, but should we? Not what's the next innovation, but what's the next intention? True progress is not speed, it's direction. And maybe the most radical act in a world obsessed with the next version is to pause, to breathe, to choose deliberately. Because what they never told you is this: progress is only meaningful if it brings us closer to what matters. Not just what's new, but what's true. Not just what's possible, but what's beautiful.